Hey everybody, Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden, Thursday, July 3rd, 2014, hour 2 of the Fire Your MD Now radio show. The call-in line is 1-844-374-5433. That's 1-844-374-5433. Now, Longevity Nation, like I said earlier, all you people out there that have experienced awesome health recoveries that you couldn't have any other way without the products and work of Dr. Joel Wallach, I want to hear from you. New people want to know if this thing is for real. Call in line once again, 844-374-5433. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the drug war. I mean, you know, when they said war on drugs, I think what they really meant was we're going to war on drugs. Because you look at what's happening with the soldiers when they come back, a result of the things they were given in theater, it's making them crazy. It's making them commit suicide. The whole drug war, in my opinion, is a sham. Because they'll ban some things, and then they'll approve other things. And even the things that they approve, case in point, OxyContin. Okay, you can have that if it's prescribed, but if you get caught walking around without a prescription, you're going to jail, buddy. And they will kick in your door and they will throw flashbang grenades into your baby's crib in order to stop you from having what they perceive to be illegal drugs. Now, that's some serious business. But there's a stupid lighter side to it as well. I mean, the things that they throw at us, you know, just stupid. There's no other way to explain it. If you remember 2 years ago, Fox News, CNN, CBC in Canada, Global, all of them were screaming about bath salts. You remember that? There's naked face eating going on because your kids are buying bath salts because it's a cheap substitute for cocaine. Right? And this went on and on for, I think the shelf life of this BS was about the, you could have clocked it with an egg timer before they backed off. But we pulled up an old clip from 2012, bath salt madness. Let's roll that clip.
Our third story out front tonight, drugs known as bath salts being blamed for a gruesome scene in Miami. This is a naked man. He was shot dead on Saturday by police because he was gnawing off another man's face. Obviously, that sounds horrific, and it is. I want to warn you that the pictures we're about to show you are very disturbing. 31-year-old Rudy Eugene was described to be in a zombie-like state when he was caught by police. Armando Aguilar, president of the Miami Fraternal Order of Police, suspects Eugene was under the influence of so-called bath salts, which are sold as cocaine substitutes or synthetic LSD. When he was found, what he had done to this man's face, the victim was 65 years old, truly horrific. Apparently all that's left is his goatee. His eyeballs were gone, his face. It is unbelievable. Dr. Charles Sophie is a psychiatrist at the Los Angeles County Department of Children and Family Services, and he's out front now. Dr. Sophie, have you ever heard of anything like this? I mean, it's awful to even talk about some of the things I just said that this man did to his victim's face.
Absolutely. There are many reactions that your brain can have when you're putting in a substance such as this. These are very cocaine-like substances that will have a very aggressive reaction within your brain, and the behavior that comes out of that could be anything from aggression to ripping off basically someone's face. Severe reactions, and they're not able to be tested, these drugs. So we're putting in substances into our face, into our bodies, that we don't know what is going to happen when we do that.
So when we use the name bath salts, which I guess is the street name, you said a little bit cocaine-like. I mean, what would be in it? I mean, does it vary every single concoction, or what's really in quote-unquote bath salts?
Well, that's a really great question, because the bottom line is these are not substances that have been properly studied, and so we don't really know what's in them. We just see the kinds of reactions and can kind of guess what chemicals in the brain they're reacting with, and then hence the behavior. So that's why the studies need to be done, and then we can make the testing that needs to be in place to be able to see if people have taken these or not when they're behaving this way. Because right now, we could do a test and not even know if they've taken them.
And my understanding is that the Eugene had been at some sort of a music festival. The police there had said that these bath salts were sort of something people were doing. Is this something that's spreading, that you're hearing more and more about? I mean, I'm just thinking back to the days when, meth and meth heads was just sort of an occasional story you heard coming out of the Midwest, and then all of a sudden became a national crisis.
Absolutely. Over the past year, we've heard more and more, and I've had more and more patients with this type of issue. So they're out there. I think there's going to be a ban, if there isn't already, in the availability of them until the studies can be done and tests can be developed. But yes, we're hearing more about it.
And where do people usually get them, the drug?
I think most of the time they are sold at head shops under various names, but they're available over the counter until, I think, most recently.
And one of the side effects that appeared in this case was the man was naked, the perpetrator. I mean, is this something that would go along with that he would be naked? What in the drug would cause him to do that? And he was growling, I should tell everyone, too. He was growling like he was some sort of a dog as he was eating the man.
Right. I mean, what's happening is you're putting these substances into your brain, you're moving your brain chemicals around, and then there's going to be behaviors that come from that. Anything from growling to animalistic, aggressive behaviors, convulsions. You could be looking like this man did, a zombie-like, but you're in a trance and you're not under control of your own body.
Oh, Dr. Sophie, thank you very much. It's really bizarre and horrific story. Well, still to come out front.
Okay, so I love the part where she asks him if nakedness is a side effect of bath salts. Or, they should, the FDA should absolutely have these bath salt manufacturers print on the package, warning, may cause naked growling and face eating. You know what I mean? Like they do in the commercials. But my point is, when's the last time you heard of bath salts or naked face eating? I mean, there's crazy stuff that happens all the time. And this doctor's just clueless. Well, we don't know what's in it. But I mean, it must have been approved by the FDA if they're selling it. And they just have no clue. I think it's more likely, personally, that these people were coming off of a serotonin reuptake inhibitor. Because we know that they cause bizarre behavior. I mean, I had that interview a few weeks back with Mike Rivero. He suggested you go to ssristories.com. Check it out. I mean, it's insane. I didn't see any naked face eating on there, but there was a lot of suicide and kids killing their parents and each other. So, I mean, the war on bath salts was probably the most successful campaign they've had to date. I mean, it was about 2 weeks that was in the news, and you didn't hear it any longer. And as I'm fond of saying, malnourished people are nuts. They're crazy. A lot of times they're crazy. They're hard to deal with. You can't reason with somebody that's like that. You throw a lot of drugs and booze or SSRIs in there, and look out, man. She's naked face eating time. Call in line is 844-374-5433. 844-374-5433. Call in if you want to talk about some of the amazing benefits that you can have to nutrifying your body and the bodies of the people in your family. I mean, it is absolutely amazing. You don't have to take bath salts. You can just take your 90 for life. And you'll feel great. You won't even want those bath salts anymore. Unreal. So I'm going around. We were talking about drugs, right? The war on drugs. Okay, here's another good example of the war on drugs. This is from Fox News. 99.6% of Alzheimer's disease drug trials fail, experts find. Oh, but you're not allowed to say that cholesterol is good for the brain. You're not allowed to say that anything can cure Alzheimer's unless you're saying something lame and dopey like awareness is the cure. 99.6% of Alzheimer's disease drug trials fail, experts find. Okay. According to new research from the Cleveland Clinic using data from clinicaltrials.gov, a government website that tracks ongoing clinical trials, researchers discovered that from 2002 to 2012, 244 drugs had been tested, and only one drug was a success. So now, they had one that was a success. Right? That's what they're saying. One was a success. With 10,000 baby boomers reaching the Alzheimer's risk period, the need for drug treatment is immediate, the researchers said. Yeah, wait a second. You said one was successful. We're looking forward from 5.5 million victims now to around 14 million by 2050. If we don't develop something, wait a minute, you had one that was a success. You said that. Amazing. If we don't develop something, yet we're meeting this with a trickle of success. Oh, okay, so it was just a little success. In terms of drug development, lead author Dr. Jeffrey L. Cummings, director of the Cleveland Clinic Lou Ruvo Center for Brain Health, told Fox News, the dramatic message is that Alzheimer's disease drug development is in a disastrous state, and we have to change this. Alzheimer's disease is the most common form of dementia and causes memory, thinking, and behavior problems. And they can't even really diagnose you with it definitively unless they cut your head open and take a sample of gray matter. There's a better way, people. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. More after this. Welcome back. We're live. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden on Fire Your MD Now Radio. I'm just trying to prevent more naked face eating. That's all. We're going to go over to Daniel in Ottawa here in my home country of Canada. Daniel, how you doing today?
Hey, very good. Thank you. And yourself?
I'm doing all right, man. What do you want to talk about?
Awesome. I want to talk about bladder cancer. If you give me some tips, please, with longevity products.
Okay, yeah, okay, specifically bladder cancer. I'm just going to talk about cancer as a whole, okay?
Okay.
Because the condition in your body that allows you to get a cancerous bladder is the same condition in the rest of your body. That's why it ends up spreading. You know what I mean? Because your body isn't in a state where it can fight it off. But I'm glad you called, Daniel, because there's a few things that you can do to put your body in a position where it can fight it itself. I cannot legally say in the free country of Canada that I can cure cancer. Okay? We can't. Yeah, exactly. I can't say water cures dehydration. But what we can do is we can tell you that we're going to give you what you need to support and promote healthy body that does not get cancer. So what we want to do, Daniel, first of all, is you've got to stop eating foods that are messing up the works and causing free radical damage in your body. Are you familiar with our 10 bad food list, Daniel?
I am, yes.
Okay, good. That's the very first place a guy needs to start. Specifically with cancer, fried food and oil in a bottle. Those two are killers. Not only that, but potato skins, well-cooked meat, all those things are going to cause problems. Now, what you want to do is you want to get your body fighting the cancer. Cancerous cells got no place in your body. Your body comes equipped with different systems that will fight it off itself. Now, most people don't know this, but a lot of times people will get cancer at different times in their life, and they have no idea, right? But sometimes the worst thing that can happen is you happen to be sitting on that little bed with a sheet of white paper stretched across it talking to a guy with a clipboard and a stethoscope. Because 9 times out of 10, the treatment is what will do you in. So,
that's right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so what we do here is we want to boost your body's ability to fight it. And what we want for you is a high ORAC value. ORAC is an acronym that stands for Oxygen Radical Absorption Capacity. Now, chief amongst those, you're going to be looking at the mineral selenium. All right, how much do you weigh, Daniel?
180.
180 pounds?
Yes.
Okay, so ideally for you, 2 healthy brain and heart packs. That's 2 healthy brain and heart packs. Now you're going to get 2 healthy start packs, and with that is going to be a bottle of Cell Shield RTQ, so 2 of them, and a bottle of Ultimate Selenium. Now, the Cell Shield RTQ, that RTQ stands for resveratrol, turmeric, and quercetin. Okay, resveratrol is the biochemical created in red wine. And studies have shown that resveratrol is a potent cancer fighter. So, if you were to try and get enough resveratrol in you every day by just drinking red wine, you'd never do it, man. You'd be passed out every day. So just stick with the Cell Shield RTQ.
Okay.
Now, the second 1-2 punch here is the Ultimate Selenium. Now, selenium is really interesting. Selenium will actually recycle a biochemical called glutathione. And glutathione will go around and zap free radicals, but just like a bee, once they do that, they will die. Selenium will allow your body to recycle that glutathione to keep going around fighting the free radicals that are sticking like Velcro to your internal organs. Now, yeah, exactly. Now, there's a couple of other ways that you can go with this, okay? Ideally, you want to get 100,000 to 200,000 ORAC points in you per day. Now, with the Healthy Start Pack, you're going to be shy of that. So, it's a great start, but if a guy can afford it, there's a few other things that you can do. There's the Z Radical. Okay, now I want to talk more about this, but I hear the music, Daniel, so stay on that line, and we're going to come right back to you, and then we're going to get to Gracella in Florida. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden back after this. Welcome back. We're live with Clarity Radio. Filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. Call-in line is 1-844-374-5433. We got Daniel on the line over in Ottawa, and after that, hang on, Gracella, we're going to get to you in Florida. So, Daniel, before the break there, I was talking to you about the benefits of selenium and the Cell Shield RTQ that come with the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. And if it's a cancer issue, it's always a good thing to supplement with extra cancer-fighting materials, foods that have cancer-fighting properties. And I was talking a little bit about fucoidan. And fucoidan is spelled Fucoidan. And if you just go and Google health benefits of fucoidan, there are hundreds of published studies. It has been shown to fight cancer. Now, Longevity has a product called Z Radical. And Z Radical has got fucoidan in it. Now, I was looking around at different things for the show to talk about, and I just looked up fucoidan on YouTube, and or Z Radical, sorry, and I actually found videos of people talking about how they had beaten cancer with just the Z Radical by giving by giving their body that fucoidan. It seemed to supercharge their immune system and put them in a really great state. Now, once again, I'd like to reiterate for any FDA or Health Canada types that are listening, I am not saying that we cure cancer. Daniel, how'd you hear about us?
Well, I am a distributor with the company, and I love it. I heard amazing testimonials too, and I know exactly what you're saying is this product gives the body the ability to heal itself. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing. Now, it says here that you wanted to know a little bit about constipation as well?
That's right, yes. I have a friend that she started taking drugs about a month and a half, a little bit over that, and before she has never problem with constipation. She was taking other supplements, but she switched to Longevity, and she believes it's them, but I don't know. That's what I'm calling because I never heard that before. She's 83 years old, in very good shape, and she's 140 pounds, and she's taking the Healthy Start Pack, and I don't know what to tell her, you know.
You know what? I've heard of it. It's rare. More often than not, it's the other way. People end up. Yeah, more often it's the other way. Here's what I would tell her if I was you, Daniel. Tell her to try eating an apple a day. Okay? Apples are the most easily digested fiber that there is, and that might be just the trick. Okay, so tell her to try eating at least one apple per day.
Okay.
And see if things change, and if they don't, call back in. More than likely it'll be Dr. Glidden, and I'm the fill-in guy, but me or him will be able to give you some other suggestions. He'll definitely have more than me, but like I say, I have dealt with this before, and that might be just the trick with the apple right there.
That's great. Thank you so much for the tip. One more question. Is this show going to be recorded? Because I really like you doing everything about the Oracle and all that.
Is this show recorded?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? If you go to gcnlive.com, that's gcnlive.com. Don't go to gcn.com or you'll get gay Christian news. Okay? That happened to me. Just kidding. Anyways, hard to explain to the wife in the history, right? But anyways, yeah, gcnlive.com and click on show list. Okay, show list. And that'll give you a list of all the shows on GCN. And if you scroll down to Fire Your MD now, you'll see a picture of Dr. Peter Glidden. And just click on more info, and there's a list of podcasts, and you can actually go back quite a ways and get any shows. So, yeah, if you want to listen to that again with those things I was telling you about, you can definitely do that. All right, Daniel.
Thank you so much.
Keep rocking in a free world, buddy.
Thank you so much, Mike.
All right. See you, Daniel. You're the last best hope for Ottawa. Let's go over to Graciela and Flora and see if my good buddy Dave and the Thumb is on deck after Graciela. Graciela, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Graciela.
Graciela. Okay. Is
yes,
that Spanish?
That's Brazilian.
Brazilian. Okay, so I got to say it like Graciela.
Yes.
Okay,
so you can do it.
I can do it good. All right. Well, I'm just a Canadian guy here, but yeah, I'm good at all kinds of things. So, what do you want to talk about, Graciela?
Yes, my boyfriend had some really large calluses on his foot, like on the toes, on the bottom of the feet, and he has this for a long time, like over 10 years, and he had surgery at one point. Didn't do anything, he came back, the pain, when he stands and walks, it hurts all the time. And the last time he went to the podiatrist, he said that took an x-ray and found clogged sweat glands. Is that a possible thing? Because what happened is they shaved the hard calluses, but of course, a couple weeks later, he's back and he's in pain again.
Yeah, it sounds to me like a mineral deficiency and possibly protein as well. Are you guys on longevity products?
Yes, I am since January. He started with me, but then he kind of stopped, and then he's back again. He's doing the Health Start Pack.
Okay, I would add to the Healthy Start Pack the plant-derived minerals. And how big a guy is he? How much does he weigh?
He's 6'2", 200.
Okay, so he's a big guy. He's going to need 2 Healthy Start Packs, and I would add into that at least 2 or 3 bottles of plant-derived minerals and see if things change and keep in touch with us. So what has happened for you, Graciela, since you started on longevity?
I'm pretty healthy. I don't have any health issues, but I did notice a whole bunch of difference, and I thought it was just like I was getting older, but apparently it's not. It's just, something was missing. Like my skin, I never had bad skin. I never have pimples or anything like that, but my skin is glowing like crazy. It's insane. It seems like it seems like it's made of another material. It just looks so good. I love it. And
Yes.
I noticed, for example, that my energy is, I never had this kind of energy. There was days, I have to tell you that I don't like to exercise. I just don't. But I like to do things around the house. But there was days that I had to put my sneakers and get out of the house and walk because I just couldn't sit still. That's how much energy I have. You know?
That's hey, okay. Graciela, I wanted to, okay, you like how your skin looks, right?
Yes, I do.
I want to throw a couple of suggestions at you. Okay, so if you like how you got that glow on your skin, I'm going to tell you a couple things that will enhance that even more. Are you interested?
Oh, yes.
Okay, the HGH Youth Complex.
Okay.
If you take 8 of those every night before you go to bed, you'll see an even bigger difference in your skin. Okay, now if you add to that the Immortalium, it will make you just glow like even more. You'll notice it even more than you already do. Like, and the reason I know this is because, you know, my wife, women around me, my sister, my mom, whenever they try these things, that you notice it right away. And you know, it was funny because my sister was actually on it first. And me and Jennifer started using it for about 2 weeks, and we ran into my sister at the grocery store, and she looked at us, and she goes, "Are you taking the HGH?" Like she knew just by looking at our faces. So sounds to me like you like what's happening, and if you want to go a little bit further, that's a little tip from me from what I've seen. So with your boyfriend, is you got anything else going on?
Well, we noticed, like, we got the package. The first time we only bought the Beyond Tangerine with the fish oil, you know, the omega 369.
Yep.
And we were taking for 1 week. And he had some bruises because he works in a wine store and he bangs himself sometimes into some wine crates there and gets purple in his skin. And some of those bruises he had for 3 months and still there. We had started taking just the 90 essentials on Wednesday. The next week I saw him again on Wednesday and he had none of the bruises.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing.
And one of them he got in 3 days ago when it was black. It was not even purple. It was black and was gone in 3 days.
That's amazing.
It was awesome. He's not a believer in those things, but he said, "Oh yeah, I noticed that."
Yeah. You know what? I've known guys to. I'm not going to name any names because they might be listening, but their girlfriend would make them take it, and around here, a lot of guys work on oil rigs, you know, drilling rigs, service rigs, getting oil out of the ground. And gas and whatnot. And this guy in particular that I'm thinking of, he was a non-believer to the core and still says he is to this day. But his girlfriend kept putting the tangy tangerine in his rig bag when he'd go up north for 2 weeks. And now he demands it. He doesn't want to leave without it, right? So, yeah, it's just...
make a big difference. My son, he's 12 and he's taking it. And I said, "Did you notice anything different since we've been taking this vitamin?" And he said, "Well, I'm actually awake on the first and second period in school." He said he wasn't before.
Yeah, that would have changed my life because I was a horrible student. I wanted to be doing anything other than being in class. But, you know, your son's got the tangy tangerine now. I didn't have that option back then. But, you know, it's great that you can give this to your son and that he can grow up being healthy and avoid a lot of the problems that people develop over their life. And like you said earlier, you just think you're getting old or whatever, but no, man, you don't have to get old. You don't have to age ugly. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yes. Well, and also my son, he's 12. So should I be giving him the adult dose now?
How much does he weigh?
Well, he's 110 and he's 5'6".
Oh, well, I wouldn't even worry about giving him 2 scoops of Beyond Tangy Tangerine. It's based on 100 pounds body weight. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think you're going to hurt him at all by giving him an adult dose because, because of if he's 5'6", and he's $110, sounds like he's pretty thin then, huh?
Yeah, so he's a hockey player, so
hockey player.
He burns everything that he eats for sure.
You guys play hockey in Florida?
Oh yes, he plays 4 times a week.
I thought it was too hot.
Oh, nice.
You know what? When I was a kid, it was like we would go down to a lake at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and it was like 40 below. And yeah, lots of my friends actually almost lost an ear or a toe that got frozen playing hockey, but try and make us come in, right? Graciela, thank you so much for calling in. We're going to let you go, and I appreciate your call. Stay in touch with the show. And after this, we're going to take the show out with Dave and the Thumb. Mike Phillips filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. Back after this. We're back live. Mike Phillips filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. Just had a great talk with Graciela. I just love saying that. We're going to go over to my buddy Dave and the Thumb. Dave, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm great. Actually, I'm kind of scared. I'm so happy that you got me in and you played that clip. I think somebody slipped me some bath salts because I was naked today.
Were you eating someone's face and barking like a dog?
I didn't go that far, but I found myself in the shower and I was naked, so it must be bath salts, right?
Yeah. That's a definite side effect.
What do I do, man? What do I do?
Isn't that ridiculous? Do you remember that though, Dave? It was 2 weeks. And then you didn't hear another word about it. It was the most successful anti-drug campaign in the history of the drug war.
I know. It was off the charts, man. It's insanity what the heck is going on. But I do want to wish you a happy Canada Day and a happy Independence Day, brother. And I've got to ask you, did you listen to that Breakfast Empowerment Hour today, the Daily Dose?
I did not. Do you recommend it?
Oh, my God. I'm telling you what, my friend, that was the most inspiring call I've ever heard in my life. Victoria Barron was the special guest on the call, and it was off the charts. I'm getting goosebumps telling you about it. That is my new recruiting tool. When they get that posted, I'm going to put it on a flash drive, and I'm going to give it to everybody I meet. I'm going to make them listen to that, and I'm telling you, if they don't get on board with longevity, I don't know what to say.
You got my interest, Dave. What show is this?
It was the leadership call. It's every Monday through Friday, 10:25 a.m. Eastern time.
Is that with Tom and Denise Cheneau?
No. It's after that one.
Okay.
But Victoria Barron, she does the introductions for Tom Chenault's Hair on Fire call. She was the guest on it's Linda Tyler's call at 10:25 Eastern time. But that will be if you go to longevity.com and go to team member resources and go to conference calls and events and then go to conference calls, it'll be up. I called customer service and talked to Johnny Taylor to see if she could get that posted today so we can play that for our Independence Day parties tomorrow.
Okay, I'm doing it.
It was off the charts, brother.
I'm going and I'm checking that out. Give me a little bit of the meat and potatoes. Why did this call hit you so hard? It was
all about Independence Day. She gave a bunch of definitions on independence and freedom, and then she tied it in with our forefathers fighting tyranny, and now how we're fighting tyranny now, how they're taking away all of our rights and our freedoms, and how we got to fight back. And then she incorporated it with longevity and people losing their homes, and how so many people have saved their homes by getting on board with longevity, saved their health, saved their families, and it was the most inspiring leadership call I've ever heard, and I'm going to use it every day of my life now. It's awesome.
I'm glad you pointed that out to me because I hadn't heard that one. I try to stay on top of stuff with longevity, but the truth is they're doing so much, it's hard to.
Yeah,
and,
you know what? If you go in to that conference calls under team member resources, all the calls that are recorded, they post them there, and there's a bunch of them, and I recommend all of them. They're all great, but that one today was the best one I've ever heard, and I've been listening about a year, and I'm telling you, it floored me. I mean,
awesome.
As soon as the call ended, I hung up. I called customer service, tried to find out who's in charge of team member resources. That guy's on vacation. I talked to Johnny Taylor. I mean, she took my call the day before a big holiday, and, usually you got to email her. She took my call right away, and I had her inspired. She said she's going to do her best to get it posted as soon as possible so we can try and use it for our holiday parties and just let people. It's so inspiring. It's incredible.
Dave, you're awesome. I hear the music, and that means the show is over, but you've been everywhere lately. I heard you telling your story on Wallach's show the other day, and we really appreciate you. Keep calling, Dave.
Oh, I will, brother. I love you, man.
Yeah, we love you, too. Have a great 4th of July. We're going to let you go. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden, and I'll be back tomorrow, as Dr. Glidden says, God willing, and the creek don't rise. Phillip out.